For our research presentation, we decided to focus on the effects that social media has on Generation Z. For example, during my research proposal, I found an academic journal written by two medical doctors, and they defined what social media is. They said, any website that allows social interaction is considered a social media site, including social networking sites such as Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter, gaming sites, and virtual worlds such as Club Penguin, Second Life, and The Sims, video sites such as YouTube, and blogs. During our proposal, I asked our audience how much time they predicted that they spent on social media per day. From this, we decided to research some more to figure out what other students thought about their usage of social media. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about your time spent on the social media apps Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tinder, Visco, or YouTube? Sure. Okay.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Nathan Lockhart.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you some questions about social media. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Rachel.
Okay, so today we're gonna ask you questions about social media.
Honestly, probably like 6 to 7 hours a day. Like a long time.
Okay.
Daily, probably about 2 or 3 hours.
An average, I want to say 3 to 4 hours a day.
2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah. On average, I spend 8 hours and 24 minutes a day.
Okay.
Networking a week is 15 hours.
So yeah, that's about 2 a day.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Oh my god.
How many is it?
It says 5 to 6 hours a day.
Okay, so.
So that's more than I expected.
3 hours and 21 minutes per day, and then my weekly total is 23 hours and 27 minutes.
In Uganda, there has been a decline of more than 2.5 million users on social media because of a tax imposed by the government of 200 Ugandan shillings per day. Would you pay a fee if the United States to exceed more than 2 hours per day spent on social media?
I pay a fee.
So like being able to have it cut off.
To have social media, like,
Cut off after 2 hours.
yes.
Why?
Because being on social media, like, all day is unhealthy, and it can, like, limit you from reaching potential in other subjects.
Would you really want to limit on how much you can use it though?
Probably not, but I would say that a limit would be, like, good. Personally, probably would want to limit.
Okay, thank you.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't mind paying it because it would probably help a lot with like mental health and mental illnesses. But for people who that's like their job, like YouTubers and social media influencers, it would probably be really detrimental because they'll lose their job. So, but I wouldn't mind paying it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I feel like if it were to help me not go on my phone, yes.
But would you actually want to put a limit on how much you can use it though?
I feel like I would want to, but at the same time, it isn't as practical just because I feel like I use it every day in class and even just to get around to different places using maps, so I feel like that would kind of be difficult.
Yeah. Thank you.
You too.
I probably wouldn't pay him.
You could stay under 2 hours a day
Mm-hmm.
if you tried.
Yeah.
Okay. And then would you want a limit on how much you can use it throughout the day? Like, would you like an imposed limit by like your telephone company?
No,
Why not?
because I pay unlimited.
Thank you.
Taking away the usage of social media in our society today has two major consequences. The first consequence being that people may feel trapped. Social media in today's society has turned out being a place where people can express themselves however they want. On Instagram, people can edit their pictures or post pictures how they want to express themselves based on what they want people to see. So they can edit their pictures or they can post something that they made for all these other people in the world to see. Another consequence is that people would be losing their jobs. First, all the CEOs who made Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or all the other social media platforms that we use would not have their jobs anymore, and either would the people that work for their companies. So, like all the workers, designers, they wouldn't have their jobs either. Another main issue would be that people who had those jobs would not have an income anymore, so that would increase our unemployment rate and increase how many people don't get a salary. Also, all these people who wouldn't have this could become homeless, and that would just not be good for our society today.
Will you help me edit this picture?
Yeah, of course. Have you seen the new filters on Visco?
Yeah, but I don't know which one would be good for it.
I think the new C1 would be really good for that. And you should definitely turn the exposure up to +6 and the skin tone to -2.
Should I try to use a different app though to edit it, like besides Visco?
I'd use Visco first and then use Facetune so you can like make sure your face is good and then whiten your teeth. And on Facetune, it just makes it look really natural so people aren't like, oh, she definitely edited that.
When's a good time to post this though? Because obviously right now isn't.
You should definitely post at 11 because I think with all your followers, that's like a good time for them to like the picture because they had just been getting up.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna have to Google captions though to make sure I have a good caption, but then I'll post it.
Yeah, definitely get the good caption, but otherwise your picture is so Instagram worthy.
Thanks.
What you just watched was a prime example of two teenage girls caring way too much about how they looked and what other people were going to think about them based off their image. That was a scenario to prove why social media has been taken too far, because it no longer is about being happy and liking what you post, but it's about getting the attention and getting other people's approval of what you're posting.
Based on this gathered information from our peers around campus, our argument is that there should be a limit enforced by cell phone companies on the amount of time a person can spend on social media apps. Laura Jacobson, who has a PhD in psychology, stated in her academic article that approximately 90% of teenagers are on social media. With this percentage being so high, it is crucial to our developing society that we teach teenagers to be present and alert in everyday life. Obsession with one's image breaks down self-confidence and distracts people from the realities of real life. The nation of Uganda has put a tax on the use of social media, which significantly decreased the amount of people who are online. As you have seen in the interviews, people have mixed feelings on if that tax were to make it to the United States and having a limit on their phone usage at all. While this may be a difficult idea for people to agree on, I believe we all know that change can be made in order for us to be fully present and dedicated to our daily responsibilities. Our group uses social media just as much as everyone else, and through this project, we all have become more aware of why we often subconsciously reach for our phones for no exact reason.
While in many of the interviews people said paying an extra tax wouldn't be an issue, from our research we have found that this wouldn't be an effective method. We don't think our population would understand how much the tax would equivalent in the United States, and if people were to pay the tax, we would be back where we started with no change in social media usage. However, the CEOs of big name companies such as Apple, Instagram, and Facebook all agreed that the social media usage needs to be a decline because it's creating a big impact in personal relationships and mental illness. We decided as a group that an easy way for us as like a population to create a change in this problem would be by being more cautious of when we're on our phones and if there's a purpose for us being on our phones or not. We understand that there are many people that need social media for their jobs, but not everybody does. Just cutting back on roamlessly scrolling or using apps such as Instagram throughout the day. You don't need to track it multiple times a day, and just cutting back even just a few minutes every time you go on will end up adding up a lot.